What's up guys, Daniel here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create a kind of like disclaimer screen or warning screen or some kind of introduction, well let's say PowerPoint slides, if we can say it like that, in your game. So let me just show you, pictures worth 1,000 words. So something like this, where your game starts and there's this like warning, this game contains elements associated with mild to severe cognitive hazardous effects and so on and so on. Yeah, I actually like how this turned out. As you can see, it transitions from one text to the other. Here we have some pretty weird warnings: terminated program if nausea, deja vu, or false memories occur, and things like that. I will have to think about this for my game. I probably want to write some different kind of things here. Set some pretty long timeouts here so that the player can read these instructions. Then we'll transition to another state. So here we have, you see, if you are required to follow these procedures, recite the following loudly, no harm will come to you, no sickness will come near your house, so on and so on. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve something like this, and what I want to show you is basically once this is over, the game will actually start. But while this is playing, let me just give a quick shout out to myself. This game is this is for a game I'm making called The Final Shift. It will be soon out. You can wishlist it now on Steam. It's a psychological horror where you play as a janitor, and it's pretty interesting because some disturbing things start to unfold as the story unfolds. So I think it's pretty fun. I like the way that it turned out, and there's also some kind of fourth wall breaking. You think that these are only in the game, but in reality it's also affecting you as a player. I might be giving away too much here, but anyway, if you're interested, you can wishlist it on Steam. And as you can see, the game started after those disclaimers and those warnings and everything. So let's take a look at how you can implement something like this. So first of all, you need to create a control scene with these kind of warnings. Well, first of all, let me just mention that there are a couple of ways of doing this. This is one way I've done it, but this will give you like a basic idea of how you can do this. So what I have here is a color rectangle. Let me just make this more nice. And this is basically just the background. And then I have separated it into the different stages. So first we have this warning, then this disclaimers and so on. And I also have this music that you heard in the background. So let's look at the logic behind it, or should we look at like in a bigger picture? Let's look at it in a bigger picture first of all. So in my game, I have a main scene. So this main scene controls the whole game. This is where we have, for example, the camera, the player, an elevator, shader effects, UI elements, and all of these. And I have put these warnings in the UI elements, in the main script. Now the reason I've done that is mainly because here I use a sub viewport and I shrink the viewport to get a more pixelated look for my game. So this is what this basically means. Yeah, this is for another video about state machines. Shout out to myself. If you want to check it out, you can. I leave a link to it in the description. But what this basically means is that if we have our monitor here, our resolution, I shrink down the game to this size, and then I stretch it out to fit the whole monitor. And this way it will have a pixelated look. The problem is, if I have some kind of UI elements over here, they will also get stretched out, and there's some weird things happening. There's probably some kind of way that you can manage these, but I thought that it would be just easier to have it outside of the things that get shrinked. So this is just a quick side note for my game. So first of all, you can create a canvas layer here, which holds your UI elements, and wherever you're moving, the UI will be in front of you. Here I have put this warning scene, and basically I have this outside scene. This is the first level in my game, And what I do here is in the ready function, or this, you can think of it, this gets called once the scene is ready. So here I just emit a signal that okay, I have this global signal script. We'll talk about it. Okay, start the warning. I emit that, and then I wait for the warning to finish. You can probably do it just like this. So await the signal for the warning finished. But I've done it in a more complicated way. I'll talk about it a little bit later. So basically what's happening here, we have the warning scene, TSCN, whatever, and then we have the level 1. So level 1 gets instantiated, so we can do a little like timeline over here. I think this is like probably one of the most useful diagrams, this timeline diagram. So this guy, the level 1 or the first level, emits a start signal. So this is a signal. It signals to the warning, okay, start the warning. And then it blocks, so it waits here. Waits for this to finish. Then, we do the little things that we have, the warnings, the sound, all of that. Then we emit that, okay, we're done, finished. I can't write. Okay, we're finished. And then it can continue on with its normal procedures. And then I free this scene so it doesn't use up any memory. So this is the main idea behind it. We start a warning, wait for it. The warning emits a finish signal, and then what is happening? Then the level 1 can continue on with its normal behavior. So let's see at how this is implemented. First of all, we need the signals. The way I've done this is that I have a global script which holds a bunch of signals for my game. This is actually pretty useful. If you haven't heard about this concept yet, you can create these global scripts. And what this allows is to have scenes or nodes that are in completely different parts of the game to communicate with each other. So for example, right here, this warning is in the main scene, and this outside will be right here in the scene container. And it's pretty hard to get them to communicate because, the current scene changes dynamically throughout the game and things like that. So by having a global signal bus, it goes by this name also, signal bus. You can just emit and wait for signals wherever you are in the game. So I have defined these two signals. Then in the outside, I emit this signal and then wait for it. So await, very important, get that await. So this will block the execution and wait for the command or for the signal. And let's look at the actual warning script. What we have here is that I get the start warning and I connect to it. I listen for it. So whenever someone emits that signal, I listen for that signal. We can see that I connect to this signal, and once someone emits this signal, this start function gets run. I get the music. I make this whole thing visible because it's invisible in the beginning. I play it, and then I talk about this later. We go between the different stages. Once we're done, we emit the warning finished. We wait a little bit, and we free up this scene. So this is basically the main logic behind it. Let me just show you now how you can create these transitions between, these warning screens. So what I have done here is, as you saw, I have multiple layers. So first, second, third. And basically I just change this value of it. So this self-modulate or modulate, one of these. I just basically change the opacity of it or the alpha channel. And let me just show you. So I fade one out and fade one in. So I create a tween. Tween is for animating properties and things like that, very useful. I get the first one. I take the alpha value and I tween it to 1. Basically means that it will be visible. So let me just show you. Right now the alpha value is 1. If it's 0, it's invisible. So we make it visible because, let me just show you also this, that in the ready function I null all of it, so everything is invisible in the beginning. I make it visible, then I do another transition to make it invisible, but I set a delay so that the player will actually be able to read what's on the screen. So set delay 12, so this will get run, it will wait for 12 seconds, and then this will get run. I wait for the tween to be finished, and then I continue to the next one. Same logic here, make it visible, make it then invisible after some seconds, and then wait for the tween to be finished. Same thing here, visible, invisible, wait for it to finish, and then we're done with it. So yeah, that's basically it, how you can create things like this. Yet again, this is one implementation of it. Let me just show you another one. So this is, and actually it's good that I show you, because here I used some kind of different technique. And also, before you start spamming in the comment, yes, I took inspiration from these analog horror type of videos. You might see some similarities. How do you say it? Anyway, you might see those between my game and those kind of games. But I like the genre, so that's why I kind of copied them with these warnings and these string text, fourth wall breaking, things like that. Alright, this is basically something that gets played at the very end of the game, so spoiler warnings. Should I show you this in action? Okay, I will show you, and I will give a spoiler warning if you want to play the game in the future. So what I have here is basically the same thing, is the same logic as you can see here in the ready function, or it's almost the same logic. I'll show you. So how this works is that, so I have the end script, so this is the end script and the end scene, and I have this warning sign. And what will happen is that, another timeline, this end script will instantiate this warn skip. So create, and as soon as this guy is created, it will start running its steps and kill it. I mean, it will kill itself, but once it's done, once it's done, it will emit a signal back to the other script. So here's a signal, and then this one can continue the execution. Same logic here, but the only thing that's different is that this guy doesn't wait for a signal, and as soon as it spawns, it starts the, transition, the music, and all of that stuff. And what I've done differently here is that now I don't transition between, making this invisible and then making it visible. I just change what's inside this main text. So first of all, we have this text, this piece of text, and let me just show you this script. So we have this default text. We wait some time. We say play some music, of course. Then we change it to this. We wait some time. Then we change the text to this, and then we emit the warning finish signal. And let me just show you how this looks in game, and spoiler warnings for those who want to buy the game later. And also, quick side note, I preload all of my levels here in the main script. Is this a good idea? Because I'm not sure. Because by preloading these, as far as I understand it, I'm not sure if all of these are all of these in memory while the game is running. So am I just using up a bunch of memory? Should I just use load every time I load a new scene? Like, if you're more advanced in Godot, I would highly appreciate some advice here. But anyway, let's get back to the game, and let's play the final scene. I might cut some parts out, to not spoiler too much. But let's start the scene. Let me just show you how this looks. Alright, we loaded to the final floor. We have a little telephone here. Guy rings. Whoa, the elevator disappeared. Whoa, the telephone disappeared. What is this? Yeah, I will probably cut ahead because there's some things happening here. It takes some time. By the way, if you're interested about how I made this letter pickup system, I made a video about it. You can check it out. Okay, so the end transition had begun. I turned down the music a little bit because I'm recording from my phone, and you might be able to hear it from OBS and then from my microphone at the same time. Okay, there's some things happening here, story related stuff. Whoa. Okay, this got caught. This starts happening. Warning. Not safe to continue playing. Perform the procedure mentioned during the introduction of the game. What is seen. And then the last one, so on and so on. And then once this is finished, I don't want to give away too much. Go buy the game and play it yourself. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me just show you the end script, how I call this. Here it is, on Faithful Revere. So I have this game controller. So I change the scene, I instantiate it, and then I await for the signal, and then I do other stuff. This is how you can instantiate a new scene, this current UI scene, and then I add a new child to the UI container scene. This is how it looks. This is the UI container. UI elements, but this is not specific to this video. So yeah, that's basically it. This is how you can create these kind of warnings for your game. If you found this useful, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Answer comments if you have any questions, and yet again, you can wishlist my game if you're interested. All of that stuff out on Steam. It will be soon released. So if you're interested, check out the game. I should probably update these screenshots because I made everything a little bit more better looking, more pixelated, all of that stuff. So if you're interested, wishlist the game. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video. Goodbye.